Let's blast off in outer space and talk about music. That's what we do. Underground Noise Webzine is back again with episode number 147, featuring Andreas and also Nicholas from the band called Hardraw, all the way from Cyprus. And I'd like to thank David Polito for telling us about this band and also having this interview prepared. So what's up, you guys? Welcome to our show.
Great to be here, guys. Nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you guys.
Likewise, likewise. You know, I got your full-length CD right here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but thankfully Pitch Black Records sent me the press kit, and I was really impressed. I was like, wow, cool. They didn't even ship a jewel case, but good thing I had a spare. The first question I would like to ask you guys is, what inspired you guys to write the song called Crimson Lake? That happened to be my favorite song because when I was reading it, it was describing a female, and I'm not sure if you were talking about a particular female.
Basically, that song was, the lyrics were given to me by a high school friend back in, like, I don't know, 2006 or something. And I found it later, so I wrote the song when I was still like studying, and we are already recording the first album. So it's an old song of ours, and basically it describes the situation with the invasion in Cyprus in 74 and stuff like that. Andrea may be able to tell some more things about the lyrics.
Yeah, it's it's a depiction of that era, that the story of Cyprus. It's a different depiction through other lens. So it's not it's telling a story, the crimson, the color crimson, which is close to the red color, which is a bit of a sad color, and it tells a fantastic story that resembles the situation and the horror that happened to our country some decades ago in 1974, as Nicolas said, and that's why you might find some of the lyrics that are not referring directly to those facts, but they are telling a story. It's like a tale, basically.
Yeah, that one, like I said, stood out to be my personal favorite off the whole album. Other than that, it's a great album. You know, it's
Yes,
definitely up there. You know, you guys, I've never heard of you guys before, so it was new to my ears, and I gave it a bunch of good listens. And what song did you guys like the best off this album? Abyss of Mankind, by the way. That's an amazing song, album title.
Thank you very much, first of all, for your nice words. So if I can speak for myself, okay, myself and Nicolas have been through this process to write the songs for many years. So it's really hard to pick one. But if I had to, I would pick the first one, which is Cryo Persena, for which we all contributed to the resulting song, and it features some parts which and some melodies which I really dig whenever we play it live as well. So if I had to pick one, that would be the one for me.
How about you?
and if I had to pick one, it would be the closing one for me, because it's more emotional for me personally.
That's cool.
The song that is dedicated to Mark Shelton.
That's really awesome. I mean, they're all unique in their own way. And before I hand it over to Rhino, I got one last question real quick. Say there's a new listener out there besides myself, how would you describe your music to a new listener? For me personally, I looked at it like power metal, kind of like a little bit of a Iced Earth, Dream Theater, Symphony X, a little bit of Iron Maiden influence too. I could hear that a little bit.
I would describe it as Andrea, you wanna say first?
Yeah, I would describe that it is, it is a classic heavy metal. It is a classic heavy metal style in the vein of Iron Maiden of that era, of the early era of Iron Maiden, but in with surrounding that. So that's the base, let's say, of where we also started a lot of years ago. That was our main, the base where we started, and we are flowing into different genres as well. So you could see epic metal there. You could see some progressive elements there. So you can see some US power metal elements there. So there are, the listener will find a lot of different elements, but the base of it all, it's classic heavy metal. It is classic heavy metal with our own perspective on that. It's not primarily just classic heavy metal. You see different styles embedded within that as well.
Yeah, I really like it. What you got, Rhino?
All right, I wanted to touch a little bit on Cyprus because I find it wild how many cultures surround basically the country, the island. And if you can describe the music scene there in general and metal.
In general, and to you, and also in general and in metal, because it's two way different words there. Basically,
right, yeah.
Basically, the more traditional, let's say, music that you can listen to Cyprus is basically more close to Greek music, and even I would say also Middle Eastern music. So basically, you can hear some of that. I believe you can listen to it in our album because we have influences since we've been listening to that forever since we are born. Okay, but the metal scene basically it consists of like, I don't know, 300, 400 people. It's not that much, but if you say that, Cyprus has 800,000 people population, so that's not bad,
right?
Either.
Yeah.
And when I say metal, I mean the more underground scene where they would go to smaller gigs, to local gigs, and whatever. For instance, last summer, Scorpions came, and there were like 15,000 people, but they don't show up to the smaller gigs. But it's a small scene, but there are many bands, and we are like a big family. We are all friends. We know each other. We support each other, and that's a nice feeling.
Too cool.
Andrea, do you want
to? Sorry, yeah. So to add to that, yeah, we managed to have it's like a micro community here in Cyprus. So because especially for the underground metal scene and the bands that come out of that, we support, we know each other, we arrange gigs together. So myself and Nicolas also play in other bands in Cyprus, due to the fact that the people that love this subgenre of music, of metal music, are not a lot for Cyprus. But in any case, the fact that we are united in this way has something special in it. And this brings out, I think, a passion to create. And it has been shown after COVID, basically, in the last couple of years, a lot of releases came from Cyprus brands that were quite good. And I think new ones that will be coming in. So yeah, it's an exciting time, and great to hear these nice comments coming from your end as well.
Excellent. So what would you say differentiates metal out of Cyprus from any other country? What is the unique factor?
Okay. I think what we said before about the unique influences that our area has here with the traditional music and the Middle Eastern influences we have. So we have a bit of Greek influences and a bit of Middle Eastern influences.
Which is basically almost the same thing. I mean, Middle Eastern music with the Greek traditional music are very close.
Yes. So I think the way that someone composing metal from Cyprus without wanting it will put some of that in his playing, in the composition. So I think this is something that might stand out to someone that's from the US, for example, when listening to a song that has an element of that, although it is still, a metal genre, but with something different.
Another thing that I would add is that since we're like isolated, as Cyprus is an island, we are thirsty to see, to listen, to do things. And anyways, in order to see something bigger than something that come in Cyprus, we need to travel abroad. So this thing adds, I think it adds to what comes out.
Too cool. Too cool. Let me turn it back to Alvin.
Well, this is a question I don't ask too often, but how did you guys discover metal music? Like, how did you first hear about it?
I will go back when I was 11 years old, 10 or 11 years old. So when we were small kids, there was a street in downtown Nicosia that had big posters of metal bands, which at the time were the popular ones. It was Iron Maiden, it was Manowar, and all that. So looking at that,
and Michael Jackson.
And Michael Jackson, but I had the same impression about Michael Jackson as well when I was a kid. So I didn't separate it. I didn't separate Michael Jackson from Iron Maiden, but the fact that I was playing the guitar led me to the guys that were holding the guitar. So there was a picture, I think, of Iron Maiden holding their guitars. So I was like, okay, those guys play guitar. I like guitar. So yeah. And I went to the store one day when I was passing through that, and Brave New World was out in 2000. It was the first CD that caught my eye. And I told my dad, can I buy this? He told me yes. And that was the end for me. So I didn't know what to expect, basically. And when I pressed play, I was amazed. I never heard something like that. And I was fortunate enough that my first type of metal was Brave New World, which is still one of the most amazing albums Maiden ever released. So for me, that was it. Of course, I had Greek influences of rock, but it was not the style of metal, the heavy style of metal. So that was my first experience. And from then on, I started listening, researching more, and yeah.
My first experience was like, I think it was in 2000. I went to a camping or whatever, and there was a guy that was listening to Metallica. And then I went, it was just a mall just opened in Limassol in Cyprus, anyways. And there was a store, and I got a tape of Load into just as soon as it came out, I got it on tape. That was my first touch with metal. In 2000, I was 11 also, yes, somewhere there.
Yeah, anyway, we have 1 year
Wait,
difference.
not
1 year
2000.
difference with Nicolas. So if I was 11, he was 12. If I was 10, he was 11. Something like
Very- so it's correct. Yeah, I was. That's it. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out the dates because it's long ago.
It's all good. It's all good. But yeah, did you guys grow up together? It sounds like you guys grew up close together. Like
Oh, yeah.
same school
We
and everything.
didn't grow up together. We were 15 years old when we met, something like that.
Let me
Yeah.
tell my side of the story. So I think I met Nicolas first when we were both in high school. He was 1 year older than me, and we were in the at each school there was a music class where you were you know when there were shows in the school, so the kids that wanted to play were there. So Nicolas was there, I was there, and we were both guitarists. And he was the only one that was playing the bass. Yeah, because he and myself were the only ones that were bored of playing the same old chords and all that, because I think we were trying to learn more. He was the only one playing bass, and I was like, okay, I want to play bass as well. And so we got together and we started playing bass together. None of us were so, and at some point we were both. Nicolas was a bass player when I joined him, and then I was a bass player, so it's a bit weird. And from then on, I think Nicolas was
No one
starting.
played bass again.
Yeah, no one played bass again, but that was the connection. And then Nicolas called me up that he was having a band that wanted another member, and then we got together in playing music generally, and then we moved on to heavy metal basically. And yeah, through the years we stayed together.
Basically, that's the story. Yeah.
That's really awesome. No, that is really, really awesome. I remember
And
listening.
we sorry, and something to add there, and the way and the reason I think we were together through all these years is that we had the same guitar teacher. So as I was going to have my lesson, Nicolas was having his after. Then I was, we were on the same.
But seeing each other there also.
Yeah, we were seeing each other there also. So we were, we were, and we are from the same area basically. So yeah.
That's really cool.
And also one more thing to add on that Andreas said. That time there was a basement where we used to rehearse, which was under a coffee shop, football
Society,
club.
a society club.
Yeah, anyways. And they gave us the keys for some reason. We don't know yet why. They trusted us with the key, and we had that basement. And later on, we also made live shows there, and we opened it as a bar for some summers and whatever. And we spent lots and lots of time there, and it was one of the things that got us together.
Yeah.
Also.
And got a lot of people hanging around and meeting new people from the metal scene that we still have as friends today. So
that's where we used to exchange CDs and whatever. Yeah.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Because I was going to say, when I first heard Iron Maiden, I was only like maybe 5 or 6 years old, and it was just too loud to my ears at the time. But at the same time, I was thinking, I want to do that. But
Nice.
I was wondering, you guys got a guitar nearby you could show us?
Yeah, I got one.
Nicolas must have like 10 there. Because
sure you got-
Yeah, because this is the segment that we call it Show Me Your Axe.
Yeah, this is
Ooh.
this is it's a Stratocaster with a humbucker, 2 single coils, Floyd Rose, and 24 frets.
Yeah,
This is
24
from this is from 1989. A student of mine was studying in the States and got this one. And when he came back, he knew I wanted one of those guitars that were actually, these guitars were made in 88, 89, and then there were reissues 2 years ago. And he knew I wanted it, so he told me, I have this one for sale. Do you want it? And I said, of course. And I got this one.
Yes,
I've got some other guitars here and there. So, anyways,
it's got a nice finish to it. You know what I mean? It's got a nice color to it, like that.
yeah,
Shade of blue. You don't see that color.
It's not the original was pink, but the guy that got it before painted it in this color. So I liked it. I loved it. No, I didn't like it. I loved it.
You know, it's kind of funny because the band called Skull Force, their guitarist uses a hot pink guitar. He goes by the name Fabs. I want to give him a shout out. You know, he's actually a pretty cool guy.
Nice.
Yep. They were part of our podcast at one time. Fabs and Polly. Weird names for dudes, but whatever. What you got, Rhino?
Well, I want to keep on the guitars. Let's call this a two-parter. First of all, tell us about your first ever guitar that you purchased, or the first guitar you started playing. And
I have it here.
oh, okay. Well, let's do that then.
Yeah, what it feel like? I mean,
Better not be the same guitar.
That guitar that he will bring out now brings out a lot of memories. Not that
No,
one. I
not
thought you were going to be the electric one.
This is my first. I also have my first electric, but this one is my first classical guitar I ever had. So
Nice.
I had it since I was 6. So
a long time.
it's pretty old. I mean, it's like 30 years old now.
You know, I was going to say, Rhino, if it was up to the Who and Nirvana, it would be called, this next segment's called Bash Your Axe. we wouldn't want that to happen. But go ahead and Rhino, it's your turn.
Oh, hold on. We didn't go all the way around on that one.
Shit, that was pretty funny.
All right.
And
Well,
I also have my first electric guitar here if you want to see it.
Sure. Anything you guys want to show and talk about?
I mean,
yeah, that's the one that will bring out some memories from it, because that's the guitar we started playing with Nicolas. Yeah.
It's in pieces now, but it should be. I'm trying to refurbish it. It's a Washburn.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looks like a Washburn. I haven't seen a Washburn in years.
It's a purple one.
Wow, my first electric guitar was also a Washburn.
You know, my first guitar was actually a Gibson Custom Shop edition that my dad got me.
Oh, that's nice, first guitar.
Yeah, I wish I still had it, but that's okay. I upgraded to BC Rich and Ibanez.
Nice.
All right.
Yeah,
Now, these guys have like instrumental music stores in your area, or do you pretty much have to import a lot of guitars and equipment?
There are music shops, but you see, back in the days, all guitars were like super expensive. I mean, maybe in Gibson you could find in the States for $800. Here it would be $2,500 or something.
Whoa.
Wow,
So yeah,
big difference.
Yeah. so big difference. Yeah, and back then there was no online shops you could like buy
Right.
or something. So you should if you are starting, you could buy something cheap that you could afford.
Right.
Andreas?
Yes, and yeah, and once once online shopping started getting off, I also, myself and Nicolas also studied abroad. So when we were abroad, I also bought a guitar when I was studying in the UK. So I bought a guitar from there. And yes, and from one point onwards, we also keep an eye on online stores and we compare basically. But now I think it is taken into consideration that there are other options out there. So I think music stores are realizing that, and they have come more to terms with that fact. So yeah, it's a bit of both. Yeah.
But for me, I think buying a used guitar that you could fix or whatever, that I even got I got an Ibanez Gem, which I got for like 700 euro used. Why buy 3,000? You get what I mean?
That's a pretty penny, man. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah.
You got your
I
dollar
also-
worth, you know.
I also have a Van Halen Charvel, which I got for 500 euro, which is a model that was in 1985. So why try to buy something? Okay, you can find some bargains you cannot turn your eyes away from.
Yeah, nowadays there are a lot of opportunities where you can get your eyes on, and if you know how to to take care of an instrument and maintain it well, then yeah, you go for those.
Also, back in the days, we didn't have any good people that could set up a guitar or do things. But since now we have people that can do those things and restore and do whatever you want, I think it's much easier now than back then.
Oh, for sure. I mean, when you ship a guitar from a different area, and I mean, you have to tweak that thing back in. So if there's nobody there to do it,
Exactly.
what you got, Al?
Well, let's see. There's 7 minutes left, and I was gonna ask a few more questions because I'm pressed for time today.
Okay.
Old age.
Yeah, something like that. Well, let me ask you guys this. Do you guys have any upcoming shows that you're going to perform at, or ones that you're going to go attend that you're looking forward to?
Basically, last week was Open the Gates Festival.
This one here.
Yeah, that one there. Where we performed along with lots of local bands and also Triumpher from Greece and Akelus from Greece. And there was a band, Santanamet from Lebanon, and Domine headlined both days because we love those guys.
That's awesome.
And this is a festival that Nicolas organizes. He's too shy to say, but that's and that's why his voice is not that
Yeah,
clear.
yeah. I'm not talking like that normally.
No.
I'm just out
Yeah,
of
yeah.
no more.
Yeah, he's getting some rest now. So yeah, that was the gig we did a few days ago with those great bands. For us, an upcoming gig would be is still in the works, but we are planning to do an upcoming gig for presenting the full album, so playing it from start to finish here in Cyprus. And from then on, we are looking to see any other opportunities to perform either in Cyprus or abroad. Now the album it's been like a few days that has been officially released. You know, the people will need to hear it. We await to hear from them on what they think of it, and yeah, and we see what the future holds on that.
And
Yeah.
also some other bands we play, so there are some more gigs on that. So we're trying to figure out how to settle those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope you guys get a lot of good response and great feedback from it. Like I said, I really like this album. It's really well produced. You
If
know,
I can
Yeah.
hop in for 1 second, I want to ask, how did you guys come to get signed by Pitch Black Records?
So Famous from Pitch Black Records it's a friend. He's a friend. So basically the album was going to be released by another label, then another label, but it didn't happen due to that. We had to wait for some things. We had to wait anyways for the album. So the contracts got cancelled, and then I sent it to Fibos. And the next day he called me and he told me, let's do it. Not because he's a friend, he liked the album.
Yeah,
Excellent.
so we knew Pitch Black and Fibos for many years because it's a Cyprus-based label, and he knew us because he was coming to a lot of our shows through the years. So he immediately So immediately when we reached out to him for releasing an album, he liked it. Of course, he told us that he liked it, and he accepted to get it out in digital and CD.
Excellent.
Also, Fibos was playing guitar back in the day. He was in a band, Cyprus band called Diphtheria. And that's when we were very young and we were watching him play, and the roles like flipped.
Album.
all right. You guys got any last words for Underground Noise Webzine?
Yeah, thank you for inviting us. We are really thrilled that you like the album and you have it there in front of you. I don't even have it here. I think it's in my car or something. But we really appreciate giving us the opportunity to say a few words, and we hope that anyone that get his hands on the album will enjoy it and will appreciate the effort we did. It took a lot of years to get it out. You know, we had a lot of changes and we kept pushing for it. So it's finally out and we're really happy for it. So thank you guys for giving us this opportunity. Thank you for your kind words, and hope that everyone that listens to the album will enjoy it.
I also want to give a shout out to Kostas Chiagos, who's the guy responsible for the album cover. Also, a big shout out and a huge thank you to Harry the Tyrant Coughlin and Gianni Nebi for being part of this, and also Andreas Mikhail for playing a solo in the last in the Riddle Disciples song. And everyone who like in any way helped with doing it, producing, or however, with any means helping us promoting and whatever, I want to say a big thank you. and it's something that we've been waiting for like 10 years now.
It took some time, but it's finally here.
Ugh. All right.
It's
He
you.
is. Yep, he shows his face finally.